Hey guys.
We're at a brand new trail, well, new to us. It's about 25 miles away from where we live, and it is a pathway. It seems like most the trails up here are just simply called pathways. This one's called the Lost Twin Lakes Pathway. It is a 3.2 mile loop, and it is not groomed during winter, but because Nordic skiing and snowshoeing is allowed, I'd like to assume that the trail is compacted, which can be a bad thing this time of year because of the ice. When it's just straight up snow and it's not packed down, it's easier just to remain snow. But
it looks
we'll
pretty
see.
fluffy.
We'll see how it goes. We have Oberon with us, so we'll see how he does. He's not the best at road trips or rides in the car yet, so the way here, he was definitely a pain in the butt. But we're gonna get going. There's 3 covered bridges in here and lots of old growth pines from the 1800s left over from lumbering, which is really cool. And that's the biggest pull of this trail is the meandering through the hills and the old growth pines. So let's get on the trail. Another one of the reasons why this is such an interesting trail is at one point it was too wet for it to really be used for all year round hiking. Luckily, in 1999, the Boy Scouts, Troop 944, actually came here and they added the bridges, and there is a covered bridge, which I'm really excited about. And the marshes and sinkholes kind of, we can see them, I guess, while we're hiking, going over the bridges and stuff. So I'm really excited about that. Yeah. Hopefully I don't get my hopes up. It's a birding trail as well. That's always fun. So far, the trail isn't icy, which is awesome, because I still haven't purchased the right ice cleats for us. I have them in my shopping cart on Amazon, but I haven't hit buy. So we have, you know, boots and trekking poles, and a dog that pulls us and tries to murder us. It's going great. So there used to be a map here that told us which way to turn. We know it's a loop, so I'd assume that Dana's correct. This way is the way to go. This is the way that we'll come back out.
Well, I guess either way we'd end up in the same place.
I don't know if this will pick up on camera, but there's water that was trapped in the moss that's like frozen to the tree now. It's pretty cool when the light hits it. We are currently crossing the first bridge, which means we're roughly a half mile in. I think there's 3 bridges. The second one we get to should be a covered bridge. That's the one that, like, I don't know if we're going to do the whole 3.2 miles. So far, it's not that cold. There's not that much ice, so it's possible. But my biggest thing is I really want to get to that covered bridge. So we'll see what happens. But so far, so good. You know, it's a Michigan winter when the quiet sounds of the forest is really just the echoing sounds of humming snowmobiles. So all we're hearing right now is like a light breeze through the trees and snowmobiles.
So this trail is full of like old growth pines and sinkholes and stuff like that. Sometimes, at times, the trail gets very, very narrow. On one side is a dune, and on the other side is kind of a slide off or an embankment. Really reminds me of some of the trails back near Lake Michigan where we would hike without the dog. So, which is providing its own challenges because Oberon being husky and shepherd, the husky in him wants to pull, the shepherd in him wants to track. So, of course, there's game trails all over the place. He keeps sniffing the ground and checking out what's what. All the while he's pulling, and so normally I hold him on the trail so that we don't get pulled off the ice, but Eileen's taking him for a minute. So what?
This is the really pretty part of the trail, but it's the part that's like literally on a hill. Worst time for me to say I can take the dog.
You said you'd take the dog.
I'm dying.
Really?
What?
He's pulling you slowly with his crap?
Instead of softly with his song.
He's pulling you softly with his crap instead of pulling you softly with this song.
No, he's pulling me harshly with his crap.
I see.
Not softly with his song.
I see.
He doesn't have it.
I mean, he could have a song. We really should have ice cleats. Not safe. Know what I also think about? We never think about bringing water because we're like, oh, we're surrounded by all this frozen water.
I don't think it's what it is. I just think that you assume you're going to be more thirsty when it's hot outside. But you can work up a sweat even if it's freaking 20 degrees.
I usually do that in the rain. I'll be like, oh, I don't need water. It's raining.
Water.
Yeah, right.
Well, actually, I think it has to do with like human instinct.
Eileen's up ahead somewhere with Oberon, but this is such a cool trail. One of my favorite, I think, that we've found so far in northern Michigan. It's really pretty. Just old growth pines. Really great. When I say prettiest that I found in northern Michigan, I mean like in our area of northern Michigan. Wilderness is pretty bad. I mean, it's pretty nice. And we've seen some gorgeous ones up in the UP. But northern Michigan, where we live, this is by far probably one of my favorite. You said it's the sinkhole? Where? Huh? Alright, I'm coming. I'm not very good at this. Eileen does all the camera work and the editing. I'm just the talent. I don't even know if I'd say I'm the talent.
Very steep decline right here. Second boardwalk that we're on in a marshy area. We only have been over one bridge. So where are we?
I don't know.
Well, I mean, obviously there's only one way to go. But I wish I knew where we were.
If I had to guess, I would say there.
Yeah, probably. Okay. Onward. The bark kind of folded in on itself. It's like normal bark. Nope. Normal bark. I love these little guys. It looks like a cute hat. Like, I'd totally wear that hat. Go. Stop. Sit. Sit. Okay, go. Go. With my hat like this, covering my bun, I look like either a cone head or a gnome. I'm gonna go with gnome. A gnome of the forest. I'm okay with that. We're in this really dense part of the trail. And it's kind of cool because the pine trees don't really have much color this low down, but there are other trees as the elevation descends on either side. And it creates this like really cool green glow. Very, very, very icy right here. Manageable if you walk the edge of the trail where there hasn't been any people trafficking, but icy as hell.
I don't know. We're gonna have to stay to the left to make it down here. And it might be okay. At least there's trees to grab onto.
Okay.
Come on. Nope, don't go in there. Nope, hold on, no. No, that's it. Hold on, that's it. To your left, by the birch.
It's a beautiful white birch.
It's beautiful, isn't it?
That's a great branch.
See, I need a man satchel.
I just cut through the woods because that way too slick
Holy
and icy.
cow, was that sketchy.
That was crazy.
Like, and Oberon almost made like a luge dog going down it.
He almost slid down like a water slide.
That was crazy. Please help to rescue our population's footprint.
No covered bridge.
No.
You have like frozen icicles on your mustache.
Nice.
We're back at the sign that no longer exists. where we went that way and just came from this way. Did not find a covered bridge, and we followed the trail the whole time, and there were no offshoots or indicators of any other type of loop.
So there is no covered bridge.
Online, it shows it, even on the government website.
Well, unless it fell down, maybe?
It was an amazing hike. Let's get back to the car.
Yeah, beautiful trail, but let's...
Love it. Love it. A great trail.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Hey.
So, what are you guys doing?
So,
Great job.
we're doing breaks in the garage, and Eileen thought that we needed a beer.
Do you agree, Lou?
I agree.
Okay.
Like 5 times.
You've been agreeing. Okay, so today we have 2 beers from Frankenmuth Brewery. Frankenmuth is a town in Michigan that was settled in 1845. It's a historical landmark and a tourist attraction at this point, but it's known for its Bavarian architecture and German roots in the area. The Frankenmuth Brewery has been open since 1860, and it still is where it always has been, within the town of Frankenmuth. It's actually in the historical area that's been preserved and turned into like little shops, and like the Christmas shop is there, Zender's chicken and turkey is there, so on and so forth. But this brewery is more known for German style like Kolsch beer, lagers, pilsners, that kind of stuff. So no shock, we actually do have a lager and a Kolsch today. We have Lighten Up Francis. Little wiener dog on the front with a little hat on him. It's Kolsch style. And then we have Brown Hound. If you're noticing, we do have the wiener dogs on here, and the reason being is this is actually their mascot. His name is Frankie, and he became their mascot in 1930, which is kind of cool. Okay, let's pour the beers, and I'm using a flight board today. The guy who owns the, not brewery guy, the beer guy, he gave this to me as a Christmas gift for free last year when I went to go buy beer, and we have not christened it at all, so what better time than to warm up while in the garage. Guys, I'm going to read you the bottle information before I hand you your beers, okay?
Yep.
This traditional Munich-style Dunkel lager has a distinguished dark appearance and creamy off-white head, highlighted by a smooth, nutty, sweet, toasted flavor of malt and chocolate notes. And this is 5.1% ABV, 22 IBUs. Extremely active.
That's a low IBU, isn't it?
Yes, it is. But for this style beer, it's actually pretty good. Go and give a nose first.
It's like an amber.
Give a nose. It has a really strange like appearance to it, almost like a muddied down Coca-Cola.
It definitely, I don't know how to explain it other than it's it's malty.
Very malty.
Yeah.
Malty, and you can like almost smell the color that it is.
Like in what way?
Almost like you know when you like
a
smell
toasty
apple
way?
cider and you can like tell that it's not apple juice. It's apple cider, like that type of thing. You can tell there's like a texture in there just by smelling it.
All right, we'll get in there. First impressions and what you give it out of 5.
Ooh, I like it. It's got a good tongue feel.
Good mouthfeel? What do you think, babe? You just made wood face.
It's like got a texture to it almost.
It's bitter on the finish, not smooth at the front. It's definitely an active carbonation.
Oh yeah.
It's an active beer. It's not thin. It's not thick.
Are you getting chocolate notes, either one of
Pretty
you?
close to medium.
I'm getting almost like hazelnut.
Okay.
I get a
It says roasty.
roasty taste.
Okay.
To it.
Like coffee bean,
But
hazelnut.
the malt kind of comes through real heavily to me.
Oh,
Okay.
yes.
So
All right. Out of 5?
To me,
for me,
Both of you.
to
2
me,
and
it's
3/4 to 3.
to me, it's a lighter colored beer that's trying to be a dark beer.
Yeah.
That's what
I
it
expected it to be a brown ale, and it's not.
Because there's like Dirty Bastard is what I kind of like go towards. Like for that's super, it's a Scotch ale, super dark. This is like watered down version of that.
Yeah, I agree with that. I haven't had it yet, but I agree that makes sense. What do you give it out of 5?
I like it. I give it a 3.
All right. Middle of the road for both of you. Okay, so reviews from the boys, not great. I'm not actually excited at all. Like, at all. Smells briny. Smells a little bit salty to me. Doesn't smell good.
It's trying to be dark.
It's not good.
Dana does not like it.
It's not.
Oh, the back of my jaw is really upset with me.
Yeah.
Not great. It's not terrible. Like, it's not dump out worthy. It's a little bit mellow. It has a subtle sweetness to it. It is on the backward. It's a little bitter, but it has a skunky, muddy not a refined sweetness to it at all, or refined cleanliness to it. It's a little bit muddied down. The flavors are like mushed together in such a way that I can't indicate any prominent flavor profile. I do get slight chocolate, but the way it would be if you had a chocolate soda. I would give this a 2.75 or a 3 out of 5. Middle of the road, erring on the side of Okay, I am going to pour the Brown Hound first. This one is 22 IBUs, 5.1% ABV. Oop, no! Temperature change, temperature change! Why?
So this was on a little plank of wood though.
I mean, not really.
I love how much that works. I always think it's made of long.
Well, this was not planned, but that's what's happening apparently.
That's on my list to buys.
Well, you don't need to now. You can just use this.
Save myself trouble.
Save yourself the time. I mean, if you want to go tool shopping, that's a different story.
Hey babe, do you have like a shop rag or something I can utilize
Yeah.
forever?
Oh, that's a pretty color.
I guess what better way to christen a new flight board than to completely soak it in beer, right? So Lou said the first one's going pretty well. The first break,
I
right?
can get it to bolt back on.
That's the biggest problem.
Are you only replacing rotors right now?
Brake pads and brakes.
Pads and rotors, okay.
Everything else is...
So no caliper issues.
No, calipers are fine.
Yeah, if we could, I could be working on this one, except that I can't lift the side of the hand.
But these are going quick. We just take turns if you want. If you,
Yeah,
if
take
you want
turns.
to get your hands dirty, we just take turns.
He likes to get his hands dirty.
The front ones are usually harder to do than the back ones because the back ones just kind of float.
Yeah.
These are usually harder, and this is like easy right now.
Hopefully we don't jinx ourselves. Okay, so I hope that this beer does not react the same way as the other one did when I opened it, but who knows? So far it's okay. Lots of activity up here, but no overflowing. Okay, way better. Way better, thank goodness. This is one of those beers that looks like what you expect from a beer. Based on like beer advertisements and beer commercials, this looks like the generic beer. American Kolsch style ale, product of the US, refreshing and crisp. It's only 4% ABV, which you can kind of tell by the way it looks here. It's gonna be really light. 14 IBU, so even lighter as far as the bitterness units go. Brewed with traditional Holler Tower hops. Okay, I don't have any other information. It's just a tiny wiener dog wearing a hat. And that's, you can't go wrong with that. Okay, 3 beers because they poured properly this time. There's one for Lou. There's the bunny. Oh, now I have to wait.
We giving her a hard time.
Hey, Lou, get a nose.
I don't get much smell off of it.
You're, something's wrong, Lou.
What?
Your lugs don't line up.
Should.
Maybe, let's see. Maybe I'm just fat-fingered.
I'm not getting much of a smell. It's extremely light.
Yeah.
Like what I would say, it's like a normal beer smell.
Like a Bush style lightness,
Kind of
or like
like a maybe a Budweiser almost. Like
okay.
just a light, maybe like a ricey beer.
Okay.
It's very light. There's almost like too much air in it.
Yeah, I mean it's gonna be
Yeah, I
super
get light, citrusy, wheat.
It does say citrus and wheat, so you're on point with that.
It's super light. It's not bad.
Is it clean but light at least?
No.
No?
It's almost a dirty Hefeweizen
It's a Kolsch.
light. So
I love with this trick with the pipe always works. It's like my favorite every time. I'm like, I can't get this off. Give me a long pipe. Yeah, this tire, I've never taken this one off, so it's probably like rusted on.
As you guys saw, we moved on to beers we've already had before. Currently, we shared the Shorts Brewing Uber Goober. Love this beer. I had it at the end of 2018. The boys are moving on to the back brakes. They're currently working on the rear right now. They just started it. Front brakes weren't too bad. One side was easier than the other, but the side that was easier, ironically, was the side that was harder because we had to take the tire back off to put a bracket on the pad. So, big pain in the butt, and you know, we got through it. So, we're just, you know, doing our thing. So, this other side of the front was more difficult than the first side, huh?
Yeah.
What was the issue with this one? Just like rusted on, or?
We actually had to put the clip
We put the
back
clip
on.
on. That's the only issue.
Oh.
We didn't put the clip on the other side.
Because there wasn't one
So,
on there.
okay.
So
All
when you
right.
think about it, you know,
I would have put one on there.
Obi,
but there
stop
wasn't
it.
one to begin with.
Relax, sweetie. So Lou is trying, and we're not going to give all the information on this one because we've done a bonfire beer review of it. The Cadabra by Bell's Brewing.
Most information
What do you
I will
think?
give is that it's delicious.
What would you guess the ABV is?
6, at least.
Pretty close, 5.5.
Is it tastes like what changing a coffee filter smells like? Which
Or
to me
and
is
then you
good.
also said the Jamocha shape by Arby's. Yep, which I can see that.
Which comes from the thickness.
I
of
bet
the
you this
flavor.
would be good actually as a beer shake, beer milkshake. That would be really good with some
I
like
really enjoyed that one.
pecan praline. You get that other little guy of it.
Okay. I'm not gonna say no to that. It's delicious. And this one I actually can smell too. I don't know why it's not coming off.
Well, still working on the rear brakes. And thank you for joining us. Did a couple of tasters. We ended up doing a couple of beers, like 2 or 3 that we have already done on the channel. So we did not really show much footage of that, but Lou enjoyed all of them. And I'm going to go in the house, let the guys focus a little bit, and take my camera out of the cold and hang out with the dog. Drink good beer and stay warm. Cheers. Don't forget to subscribe here and watch more of our videos right here. Cheers!